Formula One, a sport that spans hearts, minds and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One. Mercedes returned to F1 in 2010, and since 2014 they've won the Constructors' Championships back-to-back every year. In 2021 they took home the Constructors' Championship once more, although they narrowly missed out on the Drivers' Championship, coming in second. Heading into 2022, Mercedes will insist on dominating the competition. Nothing less than the fastest car and the most wins will give the Silver Arrows the outcome they want to see at the end of this new season and beyond. The Red Bull team burst onto the F1 scene in 2005, and ever since 2009, they've been one of the top 3 teams in the championship. Last season ended brilliantly for them. Max Verstappen won the prestigious Drivers' Championship, and Red Bull are flying high once more. Heading into 2022 under the right leadership, Red Bull could find themselves heading up the pack once more. They'll certainly be hoping to end the season with not 1 but 2 championship trophies for their cabinet back home in Milton Keynes. Ferrari have entered Formula One every year since the World Championship began back in 1950. They still hold the most championship titles of any team. The team had a solid season in 2021, securing 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are very much in it to win it. With strong leadership over the 2022 season and beyond, expect to see them fighting for those podium places. If all goes well, they'll be aiming for that top spot as the seasons progress. McLaren are a cornerstone of F1, having been part of the sport since 1966 and winning numerous drivers and constructors' championships over the years. Last season they came a respectable 4th overall, with Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris securing the only 1-2 finish of the season. The talented driver pairing of Ricciardo and Norris returns for McLaren this season, and one thing is certain, they're not going to settle until they're reigning champions once more. Alpine was a new name in 2021, bringing F1 drivers Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon back into the spotlight. Alpine finished the 2021 season in 5th place in the constructors' standings, with their first race win secured by Ocon at the Hungarian Grand Prix. 2022 will be a formative season for Alpine as they return with the tried and trusted driver pairing of Alonso and Ocon. In a few years' time, with the right leadership, they could well become championship contenders. AlphaTauri have been a name in Formula One since 2020. They're renowned for being the proving ground for talented new F1 drivers. Last season they ended in 6th overall. Driver Pierre Gasly also earned them an impressive podium finish in Baku. Heading into 2022, the team continued to develop their current driver pairing of Yuki Tsunoda and Gasly. They'll want to continue scoring regular points and begin working their way past the other midfield contenders. 2021 was Aston Martin's first full season in Formula One. They roared onto the scene with Sebastian Vettel, the legendary 4-time world champion, in one of those coveted driving seats. Despite some teething problems in testing, Aston Martin gave a solid showing and finished the season in 7th place overall. Heading into 2022 with Lance Stroll and Vettel behind the wheel, Aston Martin have the potential to become regular podium contenders. But it's going to take strong leadership and shrewd investment to get them there. Williams is a legendary name in F1, winning 9 Constructors' Championships in their heyday. The Williams family sold the team in 2020, and the 2021 season saw them fighting well from start to end. They finished 8th overall, thanks to some incredible performances by George Russell in his last year as a Williams driver. In 2022, Williams have Nicholas Latifi and new signing Alex Albon, returning to F1 after a year away to make up their driver team. The pressure is on for them to up their performance this season and push their way back towards those midfield places. Alfa Romeo boast an impressive Formula One history, dating right back to 1950 when they won the very first Drivers' World Championship. However, 2021 saw them finish in 9th overall, with no podium finishes to their name. The team usher in 2022 with a brand new driver lineup. They're joined by F1's first ever Chinese race driver, Zhou, as well as veteran Valtteri Bottas, as they build their way back to becoming regular point scorers. Haas joined F1 back in 2016, and they've had a good start to their team career, peaking at 5th place in 2018. Last season they finished 10th, but they spent a lot of time and focus on designing their car for 2022 and strategizing for the future. Going into the 2022 season, Haas hope to have a strong car design under their belts. Coupled with hungry drivers, an ambitious team and strong leadership, they'll be pushing their performance and fighting their way back to the midfield.
Hi there, nice to meet you. I'm Audrey Menser, one of the team's senior engineers. Welcome to the team. It's great to have you on board. The pressure is on here at Mercedes to retake our place at the top of both the constructors and driver standings. We've done it before and we can definitely do it again. Let's show you around and get started. As our new team principal, you're responsible for a lot of aspects of the team. Everything from managing our team's growth, overseeing our finances, and deciding on race day strategies will be in your hands. You can keep an eye on most things from your dashboard here. I can take you through it now. First up, an overview of the board. They're the ones who set the expectations for the team. If they're confident in your leadership, you'll be fine. If they lose confidence in you, however, they might look to replace you. The board sets season objectives for the team to achieve. Reaching them will help keep confidence high, so be sure to familiarise yourself with what's expected. You'll want to keep an eye on the long-term objective for beyond this season as well. Okay then, let's look ahead to the race weekend. We need to start preparing for the next Grand Prix, which will be the first of the season. As it's your first day though, there's nothing urgent for you to address. Feel free to explore more, or you can select continue and sign off for the day. Once you do, time will pass, but don't worry about missing anything. You'll automatically sign back in if an important event comes up. This is your calendar for the month. Pay attention to the events that have been marked. The race weekends have already been added for you. More events will get added as the season progresses. This is where you'll carry out your final preparations for the next race. We'll come back here later. One of my favourite places. This is where the car builds happen, and where we develop and store our car parts. Throughout the season, you'll want to make sure the team are working on upgrading components, and that both cars are being kept in good repair. You can also use car analysis to compare our car builds to other teams. This is where you'll find relevant information on the team's drivers and reserve driver, including their performance ratings and contract details. You can also scout for new drivers to make sure we have the best driver pairing we can. It's not just the fastest car that makes a team the best in F1. It's the people doing the hard work behind the scenes. Manage your staff from here, from department heads to your pit crew, and keep up to date on their performance. From here, you can see all the team's facilities, from the staff buildings to the car part development centres. You can build new facilities or, if the team has the time and money, upgrade our existing ones. Facilities affect all areas of our team's performance. Over time, facilities will degrade and become less effective, so keep an eye on their condition. When this happens, we'll need to look at refurbishing or even upgrading that facility to get back to maximum efficiency. Don't forget to check in with the board often. You can monitor board confidence levels, your available budget, and your progress towards a greater team rating from here. Here, you can delve deeper into team finances and see our balance, as well as understanding information on income and rewards, and the enforced spending caps we have to abide by. It's no longer your first day. We'll have you on top of things in no time. You'll continue moving through days this way until it's time for the race, which you can see in the upcoming events list. It's good to get in the habit of regularly checking that list. Let's take a look at what needs doing today. You have an alert in the top corner. There's an important email awaiting a response, so you should check your inbox when you're ready. Looks like you've received a budget approval request. Most of the team's budget is decided by the board at the start of the season, plus whatever we get from last season's prize money and any extra sponsorship revenue we earn. I reckon that's a good decision. It should keep the team in high spirits anyway. Now that's dealt with, we can focus on our first Grand Prix of the season. The race weekend is still a few days away, so move forward when you're ready. There's always some final work to do before we can set off. Check your inbox for the race prep report on this weekend's circuit. Okay, you want to get started with a design project. These are car parts we can design and manufacture in-house. Each car part impacts different areas of a car's performance, but certain car parts will have a greater impact than others. You can also view our car performance by rank on grid. This is a useful comparison tool and lets you see how our performance compares to that of all the other cars on the grid. Take a look over the different car parts. The highlights indicate which performance areas they impact the most. Pick one that impacts the ratings you want to improve. The team's expertise in making new car parts improves with experience, so each new design is likely to be better than an older one. Just make sure to check the new design against the one currently installed. Testing is also an important step in designing a new car part. Our testing time is limited throughout the season, and it's up to you to decide how much to commit to each design project. If you assign some testing time to this design now, you can see what effect it will have on the car part. Once you've taken a look, let's continue. You can direct the engineering team to focus on specific areas of performance. F1 car parts are complex, and sometimes you'll have to sacrifice performance in one area to achieve gains in another. Over the season, we'll understand more about our car's performance, which will help you to guide the team's design focus. You can try altering the focus now if you like, or else stick with a balanced approach. When you're ready, continue with the process. As a final step before the team gets started on this design project, you need to decide how many engineers you want working on it. You should also decide what approach they should take. Bear in mind, these decisions will have an impact on the duration and cost of the project. When you're happy with everything, confirm the project and the team will get started. Nice work. Continually designing new car parts is imperative to improving our team's performance and staying competitive on the track. Check out the car analysis area regularly to see how our cars compare to others on the grid. This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. You can also find all the information you need on the circuit we're racing on here. One thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets. These help us generate more potential rewards for the team. Okay, you have all the information you should need. Let's head to race preparation to see if there's any remaining tasks for us to complete. This is your race preparation area, where you'll get the team ready for the upcoming race weekend. You can also find all the information you need. One thing you'll always need to do before each race weekend is setting our performance targets. These help us generate more potential rewards for the team. Here we've got the performance targets for this coming weekend. If we meet these, we'll gain extra revenue. Looks like we've got incentives for both the qualifying session and the race. If we can reach those targets, we'll get an additional payout, and it won't cost the team anything if we don't meet them. You can also decide to add targets here and offer our sponsors guarantees. These are a risk, as we face a potential financial loss if we don't meet them. But if we do, we'll gain a much larger reward. Okay, if you want to offer a guarantee for this weekend and raise the team's potential rewards, now is your chance. I see you like a challenge. It might be tough, but the potential reward is a definite pro. Let's just be careful during the race. We don't want to let our sponsors down. Okay, we're done here. Let's head back. You've done everything needed, and the team can't wait to get started. It's time for the first race of the season. You can take some more time to look around if you like. When you're ready, let's get this show on the road.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
Great to see you again. Welcome to your first race weekend with the team. It's Friday, so we're kicking off with free practice 1 as usual. Over here is our race preparation area. This is where you can make any changes you need ahead of the upcoming practice session. Rest assured the team have already prepared the cars for practice. When you're ready, we can continue to the practice session. During race weekends, you can decide whether you want to manage the practice sessions yourself or whether to hand over control to your team. As it's your first race weekend, you should let the team handle the practice sessions.
Hello and thank you for joining us as our race weekend unfolds. Free practice has concluded and qualifying awaits. We've already seen a lot of excitement building since Formula One arrived in town, and today's qualifying is sure to be no exception. Success may stem from a well-prepared strategy, or a driver capable of incredible audacity. Put it this way, there simply is no surefire recipe for victory. Let the competition commence.
To help maximise our drivers' performance, the team have them work on 3 goals during practice: track acclimatisation, car parts knowledge, and setup confidence. If you manage the session yourself, you might get an even better performance from the drivers for the rest of the weekend. Right, time for qualifying. Our results here will determine where we start on the grid for Sunday's race. Qualifying takes place over 3 knockout rounds, and only the fastest drivers will advance each time. Same as practice, the team can handle qualifying for you if you like. Let's get you hands-on for this round though, just to make sure you're feeling confident before race day kicks off. Our drivers need to be setting their fastest possible lap times, so we can advance to the next round of qualifying. The slowest 5 cars will be knocked out. Keep a careful eye on time remaining. The time limit on qualifying rounds really ramps up the pressure. Right then, let's get a car out on the track for its first run and see how it goes. Each car is fitted with a number of onboard cameras, so you can see the action as it happens. You can also use the map view if you like. It gives you a good overview of the whole track and all the cars. Remember, you're managing 2 drivers throughout the session, so make sure to keep an eye on both of them. That's a decent time for a flying lap. Keep an eye on the stand-ins throughout the session, and try and keep the drivers out of the knockout zone. Right then, that qualifying run is done, so the driver will return to the pits now. I know everything happens so fast over a race weekend, but if you need to catch your breath, you can pause for as long as you like. Or, if things aren't moving fast enough for you, you can speed up a little. Our driver is back in the pits. You need to reconfigure the car before we can send them back out. Let's go and take a look. The team will make sure the run plan is updated to include refueling, so all you have to do is fit some fresh tyres. Here you can see all the tyre compounds available this weekend. When making any changes, just be sure you're considering both the condition and the compound of the selected tyre. We want maximum performance during qualifying, so let's use a fresh, soft compound tyre. Soft tyres are the fastest in dry conditions. Confirm the configuration with the team when you're happy. Brilliant. The car's ready to head back out at your say-so. It's probably best to do at least one more run before the end of the round. Unless you're feeling very confident about our time so far. The track will have more grip later in the round, but there will also be more traffic. It's up to you to decide when you want to send the car out. Whatever gets us through to Q2.
That's a lockup. Let's take a look at the replay. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one. And yes, that's the lockup.
Session is over.
We're through to Q2. Great work. In Q2, the fastest 15 cars from Q1 battle it out for only 10 places in Q3. Now let's push even harder for a place in Q3. It's up to you whether you manage the rest of the qualifying rounds. If you want, you can let the team take control, so you can focus on the upcoming race.
It's time for the final touches here on the grid, ahead of today's race.
We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. The work Red Bull did during qualifying was nothing short of spectacular. Now let's see if they can repeat that for today's race. Tonight is a cloudy one and there's a good chance of rain. The teams will have to be flexible with their strategy for the race.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Right then, time for the main event, the Bahrain Grand Prix. This is a great time for us to get some early points under our belt. So let's stay focused and push hard. Each driver will need to make at least one pit stop to fit new tyres. On average, a pit stop will cost a driver about 25 seconds. So we need to think carefully about when to pit and why. Let's set a tyre strategy for our drivers now. We need to make sure we have a good plan for when we want the cars to pit. Every race weekend, the team will prepare some recommended strategies to choose from. Let's see what they suggest for this race. Okay, strategy A is a fast but risky option, relying on 2 soft stints and no hard compound at all. Strategy B is a well-balanced option, 2 soft stints and a nice long middle stint on a hard compound. Right. Strategy C is a slower but safe option for this track. We'll tackle the final stint on a medium compound instead of a soft tyre. If you think a different approach could work, you can make changes to any of the team strategies or even create one from scratch. We can always adapt our strategy during the race, so we can respond quickly to changing conditions and stay ahead of the pack. Right, strategy A it is. This is going to need careful management to pull off, so keep a close eye on things. Okay, now to select a strategy for our other driver. It doesn't have... You should consider picking a different strategy for each driver. This gives us a chance to take advantage of in-race events and means we won't have both cars pitting on the same lap. That's both drivers with a set strategy in place. Right, let's head back to the preparation area and get this race started.
It's a cloudy night tonight, but otherwise the weather looks good for the race. And here we've got Lewis Hamilton. With a top 10 position on the grid, this race could really go either way for them. And here we can see Russell. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? The teams are ready to go. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it's lights out. And away we go!
Look at the ground.
Managing pace will help you manage a car's tyre temperature and wear. Keep an eye on the tyre condition of both cars. Over time, tyre condition will fall, reducing their grip and performance, eventually leading to tyre failures and car retirement. Fuel commands allow drivers to manage their car's fuel consumption. Just keep an eye on your remaining fuel. If we run out, the car will be forced to retire. If a driver needs an additional performance push for a short time, they can adjust their ERS strategies and use any battery charge they have. There are 3 ERS strategies that deploy more energy than they harvest, but each use that energy for a different purpose. Overtake and defend are best for getting ahead of cars or for keeping them behind you. Deploy is the fastest strategy available. Harvest will prioritise charging up the battery instead of using energy for performance. Neutral will maintain the current battery charge over a lap, which gives a nice balance of energy deployment and harvesting.
This is awesome work, come on. Just charge the pack.
Yep.
Overtake is available.
Understood.
Overtake will be available. Yeah, copy, all good. Charge that pack.
Okay.
So charge your pack, keep the delta negative. Yep, fine. Pick up the pace. Covering. Just push. And think about left lift and coast.
Understood.
Reduce, lift and coast. Yeah, roger. DRS has been enabled. So I need to charge the pack. Copy. Overtake is available.
A position gained for Alfa Romeo. Let's see what happened there. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. A position there. They make it look so easy. No! The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Just keep the pressure on. You can do this. The hot temps just going to need some lift and coast. Overtake. Come on. Nice work, Lewis. Well done.
Let's take a closer look. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. And there they go, moving up a position. Just incredible manoeuvring. The driver's team there cheering them on. Was that a lock-up on the track? We can take a look now. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. Just a bit too heavy on the brakes, and they've locked up.
Overtake press, overtake press. Just going to need some lift and coast. So charge the pack. Copy.
As the race progresses, remember to keep an eye on the planned strategy you put in place before the race. The strategy view will let you check your strategy, adjust it, or even change it entirely. The data view is also an important area to track during the race. It gives you a deep dive into race data, including lap times for all the team's drivers. From the data view, you can see live data from the current session. Here we can see the latest lap and sector times for all drivers, and an overview of their tyre conditions. Here you can also view how the current session could affect the drivers' and constructors' championship standings. There's plenty more to dive into with the data view, so make sure you spend some time exploring. During the race, you can use the strategy view to check on each driver's strategy and adjust them if need be. You can also check the strategy graphs to see how a car's tyre wear is matching up to the team's expectations. You can also use the car and track tabs to view more details about them. The car tab shows you current and projected component condition and fuel loads, while the track tab has more information about weather and track grip.
An overtake will be available. overtake as well. Copy. Charge the pack. Copy. You have overtake. Copy. Push out now. Copy. So charge the pack. Copy. If we could have an overtake press. Overtake press.
Understood.
And we'll push.
Understood.
And think about left lifting coast.
Yep.
think about increasing the lift and coast just a little.
Okay.
So just charge that pack. Let's push. Push. Don't be afraid to use the tyres.
Okay.
Press overtake. And just charge the pack.
Like someone's locked up. Here's the replay. Now here we see Max Verstappen. Well, they've locked up. They won't have been happy about that. Oh. The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Our driver has just entered the pit window. The pit window encompasses the laps that cover the planned pit stops in your strategy. This means it's nearly time to call the planned pit stop. Unless you think there's a reason to pit immediately, I always recommend sticking to the strategy and pitting on the optimal lap. Right, let's talk tyres. During dry races, all cars need to use at least 2 different tyre compounds. If a car doesn't comply with this rule, it will be disqualified from the race. Ultimately, it's your decision on which tyre compounds we go for. Although I'd strongly recommend sticking to the starting strategy when possible. You can see the estimated lap lifetime for each tyre when you focus on them. Once you've decided which tyre to move to, just confirm the pit stop with the team.
AlphaTauri gained a place.
So you have overtake.
Going.
A race position gained for Mercedes. Let's take a look at the replay. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. Gaining a position there. Oh, they make it look so easy. That was a big moment. The team are clearly delighted. Alfa Romeo just moved up a place. Let's see what happened there. Now we see Valtteri Bottas. Moving up a place there. Excellent work from them. And that.
Charge the pack.
Okay.
Let's take a closer look. Let's take another look. There we have Joe. And there they go, moving up a position in the pack. And the team had such high hopes today. What a shame.
have overtake.
Copy.
Good job there.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes. We can take a look now. Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell. And there they go, moving up a position. Just incredible manoeuvring. I think it's safe to say
Great job. Charge a bit in the pack.
Yeah, copy.
Mercedes moved up a place. Let's have a look. Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell. Gaining a...
Tires are getting hot.
Okay, copy. Overtake will be available.
Yeah, copy, all good.
So watch out for DRS.
Yep, fine.
So Verstappen in the pits, he will come ahead 5 seconds.
Here's the replay. Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
And think about left lifting coast.
Understood.
And we'll push.
Okay.
Overtake is available.
Yep.
charge that pack.
Understood.
Increase in lift and coast.
Looks like there's been a lock-up. Let's take a look at the replay. Now here we see Max Verstappen. And this, yes, there, that's the lock-up.
Just keep the pressure on Lewis, you can do this. Let's lift and coast. Recovery. Overtake is available. You have an overtake. Recovery. Really well executed.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes. Let's see what happened there. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. Goodness me, there they go, moving ahead of the other driver. Back in the garage, the team absolutely loved it.
Increase in lift and coast just a little. So you broke your game here. Well done. Proud of you. Just charge the pack.
Let's take a closer look. Now, just watch the Mercedes here. And there they go, moving up a position in the pack. The team watching on and clearly loving that.
Save a bit of fuel now. Come on. So charge the pack. Yeah, Roger. That is fastest lap. You're fastest man on track.
to have been a lock-up. Sounds like someone's gone wide there. We can take a look now. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. They've taken that far too wide, and now they're paying the price. That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see. Who's running wide there? Here's the replay. Now let's look at this. The focus on Tsunoda. Oh dear, that's far wider than they would have wanted. No! The team are devastated. Is that a lock-up? Let's take a look at the replay. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. And there's the lock-up. It almost got away from them entirely. I think there's been a lock-up. Let's have a look. Now look at this, it's Pierre Gasly. Well, they've lost it. They've locked up. The team are really disappointed with that. Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo. Let's take a closer look. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. It's a race position gained for Mercedes. Let's see what happened there. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one. Goodness me, there they go.
So use these tyres. Okay. And overtake as well. Coming. An overtake will be available.
Let's take another look. There we have Joe. And they get past, which moves them up a position. And that was a bitter blow.
That's what Lewis. Well done.
Mercedes moved up a place.
Tires are getting hot.
Copy. So stop and charge.
Understood.
Someone's run wide. Here's the replay. Now watch this. Here's the moment involving Albon. They're forced wide, and they won't be happy at all about that. And the team had... I think we've had a car run wide. Let's take a look at the replay. Taking a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel. Going wide like that could cost...
Reduce, lift and coast.
Coming.
Overtake.
Yeah, copy, all good.
Amazing.
Position gained for Alfa Romeo.
Just keep the pressure on. You can do this.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes. Race position gained for Mercedes.
Charger packed.
Copy. Okay, so box.
So this lap.
Right, push hard now.
Yeah, copy.
You have overtake.
Coming.
And please increase lift and coast.
Yep, fine.
Just push.
Understood.
And think about less lifting coast. So watch out for DRS. Just charge the pack, concentrate on that.
Covering.
So you have overtake.
Okay.
Okay, so charge the pack.
Copy.
Just gonna need some lift and coast.
We've just had a car run wide. Let's have a look. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris. They've gone wide. They won't be happy about that. That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see. That's a good overtake from Alpine. We can take a look now. Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car. Was that a lock-up on the track? Let's see what happened there. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon. That lock-up could have cost them dearly. Alpine just advanced. Let's take a closer look. Okay, so there we have the Alpine. Looks like there's been a lock-up. Let's take a look at the replay. So this was the Aston Martin. And yes, that's the lock-up.
No grip out here.
Nice work, mate.
Guys are okay?
I think someone's run wide. Here's the replay. So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez.
Tyres in the moment.
Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll.
Leave up.
Tyres are good. Okay, so box.
In the box, sir.
And McLaren with a great overtake. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris. That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. George Russell had a decent race here. This isn't a bad result at all. There's no doubt that Mercedes have a lot of potential. Now they need to figure out how to make it work for them.
They've displayed some moments of quality here.
The team's drivers gain experience over each race weekend, depending on their performance. With enough experience... That could have gone better. The board's confidence probably took a dip. You may want to check the board menu for more information. Still, that's the first race weekend done, and there will be plenty of time to improve. Take a look at what you can be doing before the next race weekend gets here. Our time is precious, and these moments between races are a good point to develop our team further. You should have an email from the engineering team over in the warehouse. Check it out. It might be something interesting. Ah, it looks like the engineering team have just finished manufacturing a car part. It's a suspension system, one the team designed earlier. Improving our cars is a constant process. The other teams won't be taking it easy, and having a cutting-edge car is vital if we want to stay competitive against our rivals. New car parts are initially designed by the team. They can then be manufactured and installed on either car. This suspension has already been manufactured, so we just need to install it. To do this, head over to the car warehouse. From the cars area, you can manage everything relating to the cars and their build, from car analysis to car parts to new development projects. Uninstalled car parts are stored in the warehouse, including our newly manufactured suspension. We might be able to use it to improve one of our current car setups. Here at the warehouse, you can find all the car parts that make up an F1 car. We can develop aerodynamic car parts in-house during the season. You're here for the new suspension. Right, all the available suspension designs are here to look through. Notice how both cars currently have the same suspension design installed. Check the new design at the top of the list. As each car can only have one suspension fitted, you'll want to check the stats of the new design to see if it's worth replacing the old one. Take the time here to compare the two designs. You may also want to pay attention to the stats that are crucial for the next race and see which suspension is more suitable for that circuit. Looks like this new design only has positive impacts on the car. That's great news. We only have one copy of this suspension at the moment, so you need to decide which car to install it on. Select the new suspension design and get it installed. Can't wait to see this in action on the race weekend. Great work. If you don't want the team to... You're pretty much ready to handle things yourself now. Our staff and facilities have a significant impact on the team's performance. When you get a chance, you should check these areas out on your own. If you ever find yourself needing any further information, don't forget you can use the help function for guidance. Okay, I need to head back over to aerodynamics. I'll be in touch again now and then. And I'm looking forward to the team thriving with you at the helm.